Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself to you. My name is Melina Azizah and my student number is 107. Here I would like to give you a presentation about uh, language acquisition and language learning. For the first, acquiring and learning are two completely different terms, but more than that, they are processes that use distinct cognitive level. Even when the topic has been explained time and time again, since it a common discussion among teachers, the terminology is still misused. They are more often than not treated as synonymous. We will take on the subject from two points of view to clarify the difference between these two. And then defining language acquisition and language learning. Language acquisition is the process by which humans acquire the capacity to perceive and comprehend language, or in other words, gain the ability to be aware of language and to understand it, as well as to produce and use words and sentences to communicate. And for the language learning, is language learning is an active process that begins at birth and continues throughout life. Students learn language as they use it to communicate their thought, feeling, and express experiences, establish relationship with family member and friend, and strive to make sense and order of their words. And the next is differences in language acquisition and language learning. Language acquisition happens naturally and it asks very little of us since it operates within our short-term memory. And language learning requires us to be focused on and connected to the communication system we are about to gain. And then language acquisition happens naturally and it asks very little of us since it operates within our short-term memory. When it comes to our mother tongue, we perceive and comprehend the language, keeping it in that compartment. The more we use it, the more we practice, we start to get a sense of what is right and what is wrong. We are able to detect when a word or a complete sentence does not sound correct. If we are asked to describe the grammar or explain the language rules that it's breaking, there is a hard chance we won't be able to give a proper answer. And then language learning requires us to be focused on and connected to the communication system we are about to gain, and it has to be considered as such a communication system with a very strict manual that needs to be studied carefully in order to comprehend every part of it. It's all about knowing the rules and developing two main skills, and it is the ability to follow them while using the language, but also recognize when they are being broken. Learning emphasizes the form while acquisition focus on the meaning. And then the last, now It is important to rectify that as different as these two concepts may sound, they are not opposites. One does not exclude the other. On the contrary, they are complementary. The ultimate goal would be a language accurate result, a properly guided learning process. Hmm. Okay, that's all from me, and thank you for your attention. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.